Hi everybody, Ray Garrett here. I just wanted to make a quick video specifically for you who are beginning your rollout period the week of the 15th. So the rest of you will have a little bit more time, but you can use this as a reference. I'm basically going to go over the same things that we went over during ZAPCon, but I want to do so a little bit more quickly, and I'm just going to do so in the order that I would display them to the agents. And you can watch this video again if you need some quick reference on where things are located. Everything should be fairly simple. It should be laid out much in the same way that ZAP is. A couple little extra pointers I'm going to give you as we go, though, that might help. Okay, so remember in ZAPCon I said the easiest way to display is from right to left and then from top to bottom over here. We made the decision during ZAPCon not to start with the website, which I think is a pretty good idea. But we still need to start with the drop-down menu underneath the picture here. Now, when you use John ZAP now, the login credentials that you all have, it is officially an agent site and not a manager site. Okay, so that should help when you display to your teams that they would be seeing the same thing that you're seeing. So I'm going to click on the name here, and rather than going to my website or my blog, I would simply say, hey, look, we've got a lot of really cool new features on the website. I'm going to save that for last because I anticipate a few questions. But first, we just want to make sure everything is set up correctly for you in ZAP and let you take a look at the new database. So I'm going to go down to account settings first. That's going to be my first stop. Now here you're probably going to notice something, and we didn't mention this the other day in ZAPCon. First of all, the email addresses should be set up, and it should not have their Gmail or any of that accounts. This one does, but theirs should not. It should only have their Coldwell Banker or their company website here, sent from and sent to. Here's the thing with the email signature you might see is that you might see a link here saying, hey, connect your Outlook, your Microsoft Outlook. And I would encourage you just to go ahead and lead them through that right there if it does say that for them. And it will not say that in this specific instance, and this specific instance is already linked up to a Gmail account. So take that as you will, but if you just go ahead, you can at least show them how to go through this process here. Now once it does, it's probably going to take them to the Outlook link. So they would go in, they would just have a shortcut to this link here that's in your ZAP store here. They click Learn More. Now this is going to say that I can't link this up until I unlink Gmail. Okay, so but I'm not going to do that on this test account. I may do it by the time you guys present. But you're just simply going to click on the Connect Office and put the website, put your email address in there, and then click Link Up, and it should link up no problem. Okay, I would encourage people to do that at that point, right when you get started under Account Settings. Okay, but that's up to you. Now, what they'll also be asked to do here under email settings is they'll also be asked to set up their signature. If they had a signature in their old email, it should be here. So you just tell them to verify if their signature isn't there, then they can create it later here. You don't want them pecking away on their computers while you're trying to go through this. Just tell them that they will go through and create those later, but for constraints of time, we need to keep moving, and they can go back and create that later. Now, I will say one thing. If they go in and try to insert a link here, an image, it's going to ask to link to that image from a storage site. I wouldn't necessarily do that, at least go over that class. If somebody happens to ask maybe at the end of class, you can show them this. You just copy an image anywhere and just paste it in there, and it works like so. Okay, so but again, I wouldn't get into having them type out their signature. So as you go down, MLS memberships, I would find out if anybody has any listings that currently in the class, and if they do, ask them if their MLS is automatically connected. If it's not, they can just search by their name. So you just start typing here, and it should bring up a name here that's associated with accounts. So that's how they would add it. And if they just wanted to add, they would click there. You can see there's already been a MLS linked there. Now again, you need to remind them it won't show up on this page if they have any active listings. So just remind them that. Finally, go down to lead zip codes, which is the next one, and let them know that these are the service markets and the leads where they'll be getting leads. So you see right here, there's 309 zip codes but they're only getting leads in 10. And if they click the little plus button, they can see where they're getting zip codes. If they'd like to talk to you later about adding or subtracting zip codes, they can do that, but this is, again, not the setting for that to take place. Just tell them to make some notes. And it's probably a good idea in the beginning just to tell them to have a notepad available and a pen so they can make notes as they go and get with you later on if they need some help. Again, this is not the time to kind of stop in the middle. You have a lot to go over, and you want to make sure that you have ample time to go over everything with everybody instead of answering questions. And finally, service markets are on here. Again, if they see a service market that does not belong or one that does, have them make note of it. Rather than raising their hand, just say, hey, look, make note of these things, and we will get to them later. I just want to display them right now. You might remember during our session at ZapCon, 15, 20 hands went up, and this was managers telling me all the same thing. Hey, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Everybody wants to tell you right there that it's wrong. You need to acknowledge right from the beginning, hey, I know some of this stuff might be wrong. You guys are one of the first groups. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to do me a huge, huge favor. Don't bring it up to me during the presentation. Just write it down so we can discuss it later on, okay? And that is account settings. So take them through that piece of it. Just show them how that is. And then we're going to go into lead and notification settings. So that's the next thing over here on the drop down. Remember, we skipped the website and blog. We just got through with account settings. Now we're going to lead and notification settings. Tell them to verify their phone number is correct. The good news is if it's not, you don't have to send in a help ticket. You just change it. So make sure they change it to their cell phone. Also, make sure that they do not put any other address here other than their Coldwell Banker, their company email address. That is policy. That's in their contracts as well. Lead settings. Make sure they have text notifications set on if they want that, and that they are set up to receive leads during the time frames. And remember, they can't set the time frames longer than these. You would have to change those master settings in Lead Router, which I'll have another video about. Point their attention to this default message. Tell them that they can change it. Please implore them not to change it right now, but if they would like to change it, to make a note that they could come back and change it later. That this default message is editable. So that's a welcome email, the one that goes out to their clients. They get the welcome. Now it's formatted the same way. They can't change the format, just the body text of that email. Then you're going to go down here and let them know that you want the lead welcome on or off. You know what? If they are going to go through and add 100 or 200 SOI, maybe they don't want that on until they get that completed. Now, here's the thing you must remember. Remember, we talked about this during ZapCon. Everybody's setting is going to be off right now because we had to migrate thousands of leads from ZAP 2 to ZAP 3. So you will need to implore them during the session that they should cut their auto email on because it will be defaulted to off during the rollout, okay? And then make sure they have their notification setting. This should not be a mystery to anybody. It's basically the same as ZAP 2. It just looks a little different, okay? And then save all that. Don't forget to save at the end. It's all the way at the bottom, so don't forget to save. All right, now those are those settings there. Again, we'll come back to the website and the blog. Next thing you want to show them is just this conversations with ZAP. This little box right here will show them the latest and greatest when it comes to notes that are coming out from ZAP. And right now might be a good time to mention that if you're on ZAP 2, you haven't really seen any updates since 2010, 2011. Show them how frequently you see stuff here. And this is just major stuff, right? This isn't just the minor stuff. These are just major notes that they want to display to you guys. So they'll probably notice some here, but just kind of show them what it is. Now the bell should be super familiar to everybody. We have that in ZAP 2. It looks exactly the same. If you want to take them through one of their showing requests right now, you can, and you can show them what one of these looks like. It'll be the same for a new lead. They'll look almost all the same, but you can take them through a showing request. I thought about this, and I might not take them through it yet. I'm going to take them through it on the dashboard rather than here, okay? But just show them that everything here is as it used to be. It's pretty much the same. And then if they've already linked their Outlooks, they should see this. Now, what will happen is just like ZAP, when you click on that little email link in ZAP 2, Zimbra popped up, the window popped up. Now, if I click on this little link here, now this one's linked with Gmail, it's just going to bring up my Gmail account, okay? So it's just a hot link to bring up my mail account. and this one has one link. This person's linked Gmail account has 414 opened messages. Now, the benefit of linking is not only do you have more dynamic capability in sending an email, but you also have the ZAP will store all of the information that is that's sent back and forth through email to any contact that is in ZAP. It's not going to store anything that's not a contact, but if you are sending it to a contact that's in ZAP, ZAP will store it even if you're sending it from Outlook. So that's a really cool thing. And I would definitely encourage you to have them link. So moving on left to right, then you have your add button here. Now the add button I think is new and improved. Used to only be able to just add a contact. Now you can add agent insights. Now property insights, that's the same thing as comments. Same thing as it's always been. Local insights is not available on the ziprealty.com website yet, but it will be available on their own personal websites, which you have not covered yet. So just let them know. We'll cover local insights in a few moments, but property insights are basically the same as they've always been. And you have to set up a showing request and complete it to be able to add the comments on a property. You can set up a new showing right here with the add button, which is really convenient, and a new personal task right here, all in the same place. Okay. So, moving left to right, you can also have the same functionality that you've always had. You can go in and search by name just like you've always done. Now moving to the left to the right, you can see here, and this is where I point out that there is no advanced search here. There's a button here, but it doesn't do anything, right? Where is advanced search at? Well, you're going to get to that, okay? That's going to be over here under contacts. You're not there quite yet, but you might want to mention it to them that, hey, this is going to be located in a different spot. We're going to get to that because I know that's a big feature. So let's move on to the dashboard now. We've got a dashboard layout here, and it looks much in the same way. Now, whatever reason, this is not updating here. Let's see if we can get it to update. John ZAP sometimes will and sometimes will not. Let's see, sometimes if I go in here and do this, if I change this here and I save it, it'll get it to update. I don't know why that is. This John ZAP account is a little buggy, guys, and you can see there. So if you have that problem when you are displaying, just go into one of the and this is what I found to work. I have no idea why it sometimes doesn't populate the dashboard tasks here in the test account. It just doesn't. So if you have that, just excuse yourself for a moment. Click on one of these showing requests. Go to showing info, and then just hit save and close it out. And what I found is that makes this populate. Isn't that weird? I know, it just is what it is. But this way you can display what the dashboard looks like. So I've got 7 requests. This is very much similar to the tasks bar in ZAP 2. They should be completely familiar with that. Now might be the time to complete the showing request and just kind of show them what that looks like. Now here's a problem with showing it from this test account. You won't be able to add comments to the website on the test account. They will though. They'll be able to see that. So if they add themselves as a client and create a showing with themselves, they would be able to do that. And we implore them to do that anyway during we implore them to do that anyway during training. So they should have already done that, and you can bring that up here if you want to have them search by that, but just show them for now is fine. So we're going to go in and complete this showing request here. So I can go in and view details. That'll let me view the details of the contact. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go in. Actually, I'm going to go in and view the details rather of the setting. So here's the details here of the showing appointment. Now I've got the MLS info here of that showing. Now I go to showing info. This is where I can complete. It defaults to the MLS info. I've got to click on showing info to go in and complete it. That's a little different than before. So let's go in and let's just say we scheduled this for today. Okay, and I might hit save. Now I can get out of that, or I can just go in and complete it, which I will do here, just show you what that looks like. Now, one of the things that you want to point out here is that they will notice that it just says completed. It's not completed, still searching, completed, made offer. You're not going to do that in this system. Now, this might be a chance where you have to log into later on to display this. You might have to log into one of your manager accounts to proxy in as somebody. So you might have to log out of John ZAP, proxy in as one of your agents to teach everybody on how to link to pending and closed transactions. You do not make offers or make offers in this system anymore like you do ZAP 2. But as soon as you have an open, that open will show in your transaction screen, and then you can link to it there. You might want to mention that at this point, and we'll go over that as we go, and you might remember we went over in ZapCon as well. Okay, so we're just going to complete this one. Now, when I do, typically it will allow me to go in and put insights in there. I can't do that in this instance, but you can still show them where the phantom things are, and they'll see them highlighted in their own screen, so they can click on any one of these things, or they can type in some comments and they hit save there, and that will save it and publish to the website as well. Those little quick links right there are available now, where they were before only available on the mobile app. Okay, so we will save that, and that works. That's a completed task right there. Now that goes away. Now this property inspection is that's a personal thing, so I can just go ahead and complete that as well if I wanted to. Okay, so that's how those work. Now if I refresh, that one won't be there any longer, or shouldn't be there any longer, and of course it isn't. It goes away. Okay, so if I go to view all tasks, then I can see all of my tasks at one place. Okay, pretty easy to do. Let's keep moving. Now, down here under follow-ups, you're going to notice some things that are a little bit different. First off, you'll notice that we don't have relationships anymore. We have things called statuses. And if you go to your ZAP open house, you can display which each of these statuses mean. They're a little bit different. You have cold, which is pretty much the same thing as you had before. Incubating and hot. It's kind of incubating is kind of step in between hot. And then you got your new leads right here, all really helpful in displaying your contact database. I go into new here. I can see all of my contacts, just like I could in the previous follow-up screen. If I wanted to go in and log a call, I can do the exact same thing as I used to do. And did you reach him? Yes or no. And then I can even select the call script right here. I'm going to hit save. And then it says, do you want to set a priority date? Or you can default to this one. That's very much the same as the old plans. I can hit OK, I'm done. The only difference is in the old plan right there, it would also prompt me to do an email. Okay, so you just got to be careful about that. If I want to send an email or log a call, I've got to do those things separately at this point. Now, I got all of the info that I need on this person is also over here. So I have all the quick info here, the ZAP score and everything else. But look, I can go in and look at search insights to see if they've searched anything or property, to see if they've viewed any property. I can go into the recent history. This person has not, but had they have gone in and done some of that, I would have all of that information right over here, which is really convenient. You can drag and drop attachments, which is really cool, and you can set up other things, like I can copy myself on these as well, or I can copy one of the other leads in the system. Okay, so let's go ahead and send that email, send that out, set the priority date. Okay, I'm done, and now I'm completing the follow-up just as I normally did. Now here's something brand new: needs follow-up plan. So the thing is about follow-up plans, and we'll go over those with the agents completely, okay? But in this just right here in this screen, what I'm going to show them is that anybody that was without a follow-up plan, I can click here and bring up contacts that have no follow-up plan whatsoever. And this will allow me to go in and set up follow-up plans. Now, I can't set them up in bulk. Some people have asked about that. But you can at least go in and see who needs a follow-up plan. And if you want to go in and view, you can. This is going to show them, though, at this point, this will show them the contact view, which I typically wait to show them until I get to that range, okay? So this will allow you to go in and set up follow-up plans for all of these folks. Now, this next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring them into the contact screen. And this is when you can go into the client record. This is also where you want to go into advanced search, okay? Because there's a different. And I bring it up right at the beginning. See, I can search by name, email, or phone number just like I can up here. I can also use filters. Now, advanced search now is called filters. So we've got that going. And so let's go in and display a few of these filters here. One of the ones I like is that follow-up plan one, remember? So I can go in and I can say follow-up plan not assigned. And let's say that we want to have follow-up plan not assigned, and we also just want to do leads, right? You don't really want to, maybe you just want to do leads not SOI. So here's where you do that. You want to go see more filters. So I got follow-up plan. You might notice as soon as I click that, it brought up. I didn't have to hit save. I didn't have to hit save. I didn't have to hit run or anything like that. As soon as I clicked it, it updated. So let's see more filters here. And then you're going to go in. You got source here, but you're going to go into lead type and select broker lead and remind them that broker lead are the leads coming from ziprealty.com that we're providing them. Okay, so select broker lead and apply. Now these are broker leads that need a follow-up plan. There you go. Here's what we do with them. Now we can save that search. I go in and I can save that, and I can say needs, follow-up, F plan, and broker lead. Let's just put broker lead that needs F plan first. So there you go. And now that's one of my saved searches. And you can see there's a number of them here. So you can fairly easily go in and do any number of searches. So I'll reset that filter. The reset button is up here. Now I've got the filter reset. What if I want to go people who've saved home in the last 14 days and they have phone number? There you go. Okay, so pretty easy to use. And just, you don't have to go over every single one of these filters. A lot of them they can go in and figure out. Now, one I would point out is the tags filter. You can still create tags. We'll show them how to create tags later on, custom tags, but you can also still search by tags as well for people who use those. Okay, so check them out. Now, that is the filter function. Now, one other thing that you can do with the filter function is that you can do bulk email. So once you click on all the ones you want to bulk email, then you say bulk actions, bulk email. Okay. Now I can go in and bulk email them if I wanted to. And also I can go in and add contacts as well right there, just by that. All right, so I'm going to hide the filters, and let's take a look at one of the new client records, because I think that people are going to be really pleased with the client records. As a matter of fact, this is probably where there's the most improvement out of anything. So I'm going to click on Cheryl's name, and now you'll see that has a pending showing request right up here. If it didn't have a follow-up plan, it would show that right up here. Any like important action items are going to be right at the top, and it's going to tell you what they are. Now I can log a call or I can send an email right from the top as well, but look at all these other functions I can do on this drop-down menu. And this is probably one of the most exciting things I think about. Now, I can sign in as that contact, meaning I can sign into the website as that comment. I can send an email asking them for a review right here from the client record. Isn't that awesome? You can ask them for a review. It doesn't have to be closed clients either. You want to get some reviews really quick, just go in any client that you're working with, maybe showing clients and people like that. They can still give you a review, So you can share your mobile app link, and that's right, folks. You will have your own mobile app. Make sure you let them know that they will have their own mobile app that you'll get to when you display the email. I mean, when you display the website, rather. Now they have you can send the welcome email again, which is really cool. Like if you have that welcome email set off, then here's where you can just send it automatically. Not automatically, but rather send it yourself rather than have it sent automatically. That's a really cool thing if you want to do that. You can export this basic profile. The whole basic profile can be into a sheet. Like if you like them, if you like for your folders or for your deals and transactions, if you want a printed sheet of the entire record, this this export feature lets you put it into a PDF. And so you can even display that if you want to. I'm not going to right now. And you can and you have a remove from contacts, which allow you to send this person back to manager. You can mark them dead or bogus, and the manager can reassign if they so desire. So that is right there. Now, all of that information, so much there. Ask for a review is huge. Sign in, huge. All that stuff is huge right from the screen. So let's take a look at some other really cool things that you can do here. Basic info, it's the same. However, you can add a tag right here at the beginning. Now, you might remember, a lot of these folks will remember from their training classes that what we used to do is have the SEO groups, SEO group, a group, maybe, or whatever. And this is just a way that I teach them how to manage their sphere of influence. But as soon as you do that, as soon as you add that, then it is there and it's available, and you can add it any other time as well. So those are always available and they're searchable. So I go in and I mean, when I go back to the contact screen and I do advanced search, I can search by that. So just make sure you're consistent. The only thing is, and you'll notice that it's not a drop-down list, you know, and it's not color-coded or anything like that as it was before. It's just a tag that I'm putting in there. So I have to be really careful that I'm typing them in the same way every time. Otherwise, it's going to create separate tags. So, and it's pretty easy to remove tags as well, just by clicking and Xing out of them, okay? Now here's another really cool feature that's new. You've got all of the basic contact information here, but then you've got priority contact dates, a priority date. Now what this does is allows me to create them. This allows them to create them like a birthday or anniversary and have them, these priority dates, show up as follow-up in my system. So I'm going to get a reminder, task reminder and a follow-up reminder when I add priority dates. And you can see this is she and her husband's birthdays are in here. Now you can add maybe Cheryl's anniversary. Okay, and I might add it to the, let's just add it to be the 26th of there. Repeat that date every year and then save, and now you're going to get reminders of their priority dates, something that I think for most of you will find it really helpful, especially if you were like me and you like to send people personalized cards. You might even set it up a day before, a couple of days before, so you just have reminders in the system to do their priority dates. Then you can see their last login, the last contact, all of that information right there. Account info. So let's take it down to a step further. All of this is basically the same, except you can see lead source and that kind of thing. So let's take it down to ZAP Score. Look at this, pretty awesome little pie chart here showing you how this person attained their ZAP Score. So 80% right there you can see is from just opening emails. 10% was from logging onto a mobile app, and you can see how long ago it's been. So she did that one time from 0 to 6 days, and 5 times from 7 to 13 days, and 5 times from 14 to 20 days. So it just mousing over it shows you how long ago it's been. Whereas she's opened emails all in the last 4 days, she's been logging into that mobile app for a while. Also, scheduled showings, you can see how long ago it's been. Pretty awesome. Search insights. Search insights are basically what we would say is safe searches and things like that. You can kind of see any safe searches or any type of any averages. So the home profile basically shows her that she is, of the homes she's been looking at, this is the average price and that kind of thing. Very quick way to go in if you need to save a search for them. You just go into these search insights and you can get a very quick idea of what they're looking for, so you can at least save a search for them that is closer to what they're looking for. Pretty neat. City and neighborhood insights. This gives you an idea of the where this client is searching the most in. You can see Oak Harbor and Seattle, Rainier Beach. So that's where the most homes they've looked at are located in. Search activity also gives you allow you to see how many homes they've saved, how many saved searches, how many recently viewed homes, all right here in the same spot. So I can go and view all if I want to see all of the ones that they've searched. So if I click that, it's going to show me, it's a little pop-up that shows me all of the homes that they've saved. Now you can separate them here by ones that you've recommended as opposed to ones they actually saved themselves. Pretty neat. I'm going to discount that, close that, and you can do that with saved searches, saved homes, or recently viewed homes. Okay? Now campaigns and follow-ups. Here are the priority dates. Campaigns are set up automatically for priority dates. You'll see those. Watched homes. Now that actually works now. Isn't that awesome? If you use watch homes, it works great. So if you want to set up a watched home for your sphere of influence, for instance, you go put their property address in there. Now if it shows up, if we have partner websites that show up on the site, so if that shows up, just save it for them, and then any time a listing comes up closer to the house, they'll get a weekly report or so showing them what property is doing near them. Watched homes look really, really cool right now. If folks don't know how to use watched homes, that's okay. Don't go into it here. Just say, hey, there are going to be lots of follow-up education training. If you want to learn how to use these tools more effectively, make sure you register for those things. So we got new listing alerts. New listing alerts. That's saved searches. New listing alerts are saved searches. So it shows you which email it will be sent to, and all of that other stuff. Okay, there is none set up for this person yet, so you know what that means. We should have them set up for everyone, should we not? So we need to go ahead and set those up. Also, follow-up plans. You can see the follow-up plan right here in the contact. Please make sure you emphasize that to folks. I spend a lot of time here on this contact, as you can see when I'm spending with you. Make sure they understand how the contact record has changed, because it's so much better now. This is probably one of the main features of ZAP I think is better, other than the follow-up plans. So spend some time here. They can change a follow-up plan right from here. So this current plan is a hot buyer follow-up plan, and you can view the plan that they're on. So I can change the plan if they're on right here, or I can remove it right from inside the client record. So just let them know that that is available to them now. This saves lots of times and lots of clicks. Business just shows any type of live stuff that we've done. So there's a new request right there, the scheduled visit, any type of live business that we've done, listing appointments as well, requests for info that they've had, any of that good stuff in any listings, and transactions as well. We can add a transaction right here. Now what that does, that is not where I input a transaction. That just takes me to the link page where I'm supposed to link to a transaction that's already in the system. The only way to link to a transaction, as you will show them when you get to that part, is that you have to put it in Homebase, and once that happens, that feed comes into ZAP, and you can see that stuff there. If they've got DocuSign or any type of other app right there, it shows up here, so they can see any of the envelopes that they've sent out. And then history. This is one thing I put some time on as well. So check this out. You've got all of the history, and all of the history should be there for their accounts. You just keep scrolling down. It'll go on forever, right? And this is one thing I hated about the old ZAP. It's like you have to read through everything to try to find something. Well, here I can go through and I have filters for my history. So I can search, I just want the last 90 days. I want to see all the phone calls. Okay? And now I can go there and I can see, hey, here's 3 phone calls within the last 90 days that's recorded. I can go back and take a look at all of those. So I can view the details of that call, and if I've got notes on that call, it would show up right there. Isn't that cool? I tell you, I love this. This is the best feature, I think, of the new thing, is this new client record. Much more data, much more rich, visually interesting, fewer clicks needed, all of that good stuff. Business. Business are your showing appointments, your listing appointments, and your requests for info, all right here in one spot. So this allows me, just like in the old days, if I want to see all of my showing appointments, I go here to Business and then click Showing Appointments. Okay, this shows me all 5 of my showing appointments. However, I can just look at the ones that are scheduled, just like I could before. Now the cool thing is I don't have to click another button. As soon as I click it, it goes. I can see all my new. I can see all of my completed within the last 90 days. So that might be something for you as you're proxying. You can see all of that completed. Isn't that cool? I love that feature, and that's really cool. So all in the last 90 days, all in the last all time, or I can just search by an address or a contact's name right here if I want to find where I went on a contact with somebody here, and I just start typing. I don't even have to hit search. I just start typing, and it finds them for me. It auto completes that search for me. Okay. Now, you'll also notice under business transactions, this might be where you want to proxy in as somebody to show them how to link a transaction. You may or you may not. You may just want to keep on rolling right here and show them that a little bit later. But if you do, you can do that. But you will have to log out, okay? You can't open up two instances of ZAP. And what I mean by that is you can't log in as John ZAP and open up another window somewhere as your own manager account and proxy. You would have to log out as John ZAP and then log in as manager and proxy into one of your agents who has a transaction, and then go ahead and link to them. I'll show you how to do that here, but I'm not going to show now because I'm not sure whether John ZAP will populate the password, and I don't want to have to go through all of that while I'm recording. So, but anyway, that's what you would do. And just show them all of the business transactions. Now you get manage, and this is where your follow-up. So you got your call script library and your email library, and you might just want to touch on the fact that there are some brand new call scripts in here that are really, really good. Now the old one didn't have a bunch of good ones, but you'll see like the Tom Ferry cold calling diagrams are all in there, and I can search all of those by my branch, right? So my company or my brand, and my brand is like all of that. My brand would be like Coldwell Banker, you know, so not me personally. Or me is here as me, you know. So my brand is here, and you've got all this Tom Ferry stuff, close client check-in. These are some good dialogue. This is some good scripts in here. I wouldn't discount them. Like the ones in ZAP 2, really, they weren't anything, but these are pretty decent. Same thing with email script library. Familiarize yourself. All of the old emails should be in there, but there are probably some good ones in here as well that they've never seen before, that maybe they might want to take a look at, okay? And you can filter them just like you could before. So any of them designed for new folks, and that kind of thing. Buyers, all of that good stuff. Now that's the email and call script. Now here's the follow-up plan library, and there are some exciting changes for the follow-up plan as well. So let's take a look at some of the cool things for the follow-up plan. First off, I've got a search. I can search for a plan. So if I want to search anything that has new in it, I can search that. Pretty cool. And then I can search by author. So if I want to search the ones that I created versus the ones for Coldwell Banker or Zip Realty or whatever, I can search right there and find them. Now my branch is probably not going to see anything in there, but you can do my company or my brand, and probably me. That's probably the main thing you want to do. So, or any, that's fine. Now let's go in and let's find a few. Okay, so I'm going to go new, I'm going to go my brand, and I'm going to go buyer, and I'm not going to do any other things. And so here's the new buyer follow-up plan. Let's take a look at this new buyer follow-up plan and what it entails. First of all, let's take a look at what we can see. We've got 5 touch points here, and I can edit it here as well. But let's just take a look at it. I'm going to click this plus sign, and this lets me see what it looks like. Okay, so I can just see right here in 5 days, in 5 days, in 1 day, and then if I further down, I can actually see what's there. Just a quick view, okay? But let's take a look and see what happens when we click on the little pencil icon here. Let me just click on this pencil, and this is going to bring up the edit screen. Now the edit screen allows me to basically set the frequency of these emails as well. Now I can still drag and drop just like I always could. If I want to move these around, just grab it right here by these little dots, and it lets me move it up and down. Pretty cool. But here's the thing that you really want to emphasize. Number one, I can set the frequency. So it can go 1 day after, and then 5 days. If I want to change that to 6 days, I could. And this means that 6 days after the last one goes. So so initial lead, and then 1 day later. And then 5 days after number 2 goes out, this one will go out. 5 days after number 3 goes out, this one goes out. 7 days after number 4 goes out, this one goes out. Now here's something that is brand new. I think everybody will be excited about: automated emails. So the follow-up plans are still automated, meaning that you can set them up to be automated so that they will find, it'll auto assign a follow-up plan to a category of people, like for instance new people. So the follow-up plan will be automatically assigned, or you can cut auto assigned off so it's not auto assigned, that you have to manually go in and assign. You can also manually assign a follow-up plan to any contact that you want to. It's not, you don't have to wait for the thing to pick it up. If I want to assign, you know, a follow-up plan to this guy, I can just do it manually by going into his contact record. But here's something, and both of those things are new. It used to always have to be automated. I can cut off auto-assigned emails altogether. But here's the great thing. I can automate emails, and you want to emphasize that. You can automate emails to automatically go out. I don't have to click the button anymore. They just fly out. Now, you don't want to do some of those automated emails, and you can cut these off at any time. So if you schedule a visit with somebody, you want to cut their follow-up plan off, right? Because you don't want crazy emails to go out that might be contradictory to actions that you're taking. But here's the thing: why you'll love my new website. You want to just go in, and I can change this to person. I can change it to a phone call. I can change it to an automated email, and that means that that email does not require me to push a button. That email just goes out automatically to a person. And why you'll love my website, that's innocuous enough, that is general enough that you probably don't mind it going out automatic. And so that one goes out automatic. So you won't really have to send your first personal email. Doesn't mean that you have to type something. It means that in your follow-up plan, 5 days after this email goes out, your follow-up plan is going to show that client. When you click on that client, this email is going to populate, and you have to actually click the button to make that email send out. Okay? So that is follow-up plans. Now, if I go into manage follow-up plans again, so again, really cool stuff. I'm going to go into manage follow-up plans, and I'm going to follow up my plan library. And here's the thing: I can automate auto-assign plans right here, just like I was talking about. You go to auto-assign plans, and then you can cut on any of these that you want on or off. This person has the new follow-up plans off. It's pretty easy to cut them on. Sounds good. And now I've got the new one enabled, automatically enabled. Now here's what will happen. As these emails go out, so for instance, the new one is like five emails long. And so after that one's out, if that person automatically qualifies to be on one of these auto-assigned, they'll just go on to the next one. But sometimes, especially if you've got these turned off, they will not be auto-assigned. So that's what this feature is up here. Needs follow-up plan, right? The search feature, or on the dashboard feature. What that means is that it doesn't mean that there hasn't necessarily ever been a follow-up plan assigned. What that means is they've fallen off. Either they've never had one, or they were on one and it's completed the cycle and the system didn't pick them up for another one. So now you know that these are the folks that you need to manually go in and reassign a follow-up plan to, because they did not qualify for any of the auto-assigned plans in your follow-up plan library. And you can create new follow-up plans just like you've always been able to do here, and create new emails for that matter. Type them in just like you want them. Got a reporting feature here, which is a lead performance. This is a little sketchy. They haven't fully completed that yet. You might want to just show them it's here, but it's basically going to show them. What you want to do though is make sure that they so you have agent leads, broker leads is probably what you want to show them, and this will just show them how many broker leads they've gotten, and then how many requests and what's happening with them. So then you can say the cumulative. This person doesn't have any of the broker leads, but I'll just hit all leads so you can see what this looks like. So this will show them. This will show you what your situation is by way of requests for info, transactions, lead registration. So this person has 8 leads and 3 showing requests and that kind of thing. Okay, now you can say that's a cumulative. You can show actual. You can do it by the day, the month, the week. And so it's okay. The reason I show this to them, though, is that this is going to be improving as time goes on. And that's another beautiful thing. Remember, we said the old ZAP hadn't improved since like 2010, 2011. This one has new improvements literally like every other week. There's something new that comes out on this thing that has not been there before. And then that's it. You want to show them the ZAP score. The ZAP store allows them to go in and link, like I said, you can link to any type of online marketing. Anything that appears here, these will not be the same based on the district, but let's say .loop, if your district has something different, what if it's available, what your district uses should be there. So you can just tell them to go through, thumb through here and see if there's anything that they subscribe to, or if they want to purchase. If there's things here to purchase, they've already negotiated special deals here if they want to purchase things, but some of the things that are free or things that they already subscribe to, they can just link it here and just put in their password and it automatically links in ZAP, which is another really awesome feature, the things that hasn't happened before. And what I want to encourage people to do, so you see here the quick links, all of this stuff. What I really want to encourage you to do, and you may even want to do this from the get-go, is say that ZAP wiki is gone. The old wiki is gone, and it never really was that helpful. But this new support link right here is amazing. And questions that they have that were not answered today, certainly they can go in and sign up for a training session, but there's already so much awesome material here, whether it's information from the community, people have asked your question before, you just type it up. So you're having a problem with tasks, for instance, you just type it in there, and then it's going to show you all of the times that come up. And then you can search by knowledge base articles as well. So you've got manually clear tasks, complete task removing. So you've got all of that information there. And then knowledge base is really it's really like a resource that says this about basically articles that have been written, how-to articles. So this site, the support site, is amazing. It is better than it's ever been, and there's such a wealth of information here. There should not ever be an instance where somebody has a question really and can't get that answer just by going to the support realm or to ZAP Open House, which you've already given them. So a lot of really cool support right at their fingertips without having to call or email or go to the help desk or do any of that stuff. They have a lot more freedom than they've ever had before. Okay, so that is pretty much it for ZAP. I know I've gone through this a little bit quicker than you probably will, but just wanted to give you a kind of an overview. Now, when you're going over the website, if you're going to go over the website at the end, I would just let people know that there's going to be lots more website training coming forward, because this new website of theirs will do a lot more than it ever has. Today is not the instance of do that. Today is the day to make sure everybody's live on ZAP though, and we are going to have lots and lots of classes on how to set up websites for SEO, for instance, because they do have their own website, but I would basically display it during class, okay? And so what you'll do here is you'll just go to the drop-down menu and you're going to go to their website. First of all, you want to make sure once you click on this, just go through and make sure that they'll have their photo here. If they've got their photo stored in the system, it should be there. They can also add it by clicking right here and add a photo of themselves. They can edit their photo, okay? Now, they can change the cover photo. I would encourage them not to do that, because if it's not this exact size, it really skews it and makes it look goofy. But what I would encourage them to do is to make sure all of their information is transferred over from their old website, the About Me section, for instance. And it's basically the thing that's the same as before is like you want to go to your About Me, your reviews, and your professional info. So if I go down to my professional info, this is just the little things that I gave about my experience, my credentials and memberships, my community involvement. And then if I go to my reviews here, it'll show all my old reviews. I can make sure that those are there. And I go to the About Me section. You might also want to mention that they now have their own links that send it directly to their website. And remember, their website, you might want to point out, this is their personal website. It is separate from ZipRealty.com. All of their leads come from ZipRealty.com. But their sphere of influence, they will likely send to this Coldwell Banker site, which will be their own site. And they can do vanity URLs as well, which, again, there will be separate classes on how to set up your vanity URL and how to maximize your own personal website for SEO. Right now, though, during this session, we're just making sure everything is set up. Now, once you do that, you can take them to the areas served to make sure that they have all the areas that they want to serve here. And if they don't, they should be able to go in and add a city name as well. Can't just write it down. And you can change in the heading as well. So right now this says John ZAP's list of homes in Seattle. They can change that. Now this doesn't have anything to do with where they're going to be getting leads. This is just going to display to customers where this is. And they can shut this off if they want to. It's not going to affect anything, but this is just the customer display. Now the agent insights, that is comments they've left on properties, property comments. They call them agent insights now. And then they also have local insights. And if you want to talk to them about local insights, it's basically information that they can list about cities that they serve in. So they can write up a little blog, like almost like a blog post. If they serve in Oak Harbor, Washington, they can say Oak Harbor, Washington is a lovely place. Visit our 5 museums and blah, blah, blah. They can write up that local insight. And on their own website, those insights will come up whenever a client is using their website to search for properties. Now, eventually they will also come up on ziprealty.com, but those updates to ziprealty.com cannot happen until we roll out completely, okay? So now we've got the local SEO playbook. This is basically almost like a master class on how to set up search engine optimization for your own personal website. And you can go through all of these links, and as soon as you do something, you can check them off. If you want to learn more, you click there, and then bring you to the knowledge base article showing you information on how to do that, okay? So that is there. And then resources here, this is Yelp. You can put other, let's say they have the Coldwell Banker YouTube channel, they have local open houses and stuff like that. You can put other resources for people to use on your website or not. You can choose not to display that if you don't want to on your own website. And then finally, if they want to take a look at what their website is, they can click View My Website, and they can just get a quick view of what their website looks like, and just point out to them that if you give somebody that link, as long as they're searching in your service area, they do not have to be signed up to be able to see your website. Now, once they do sign up, they will be your client, no matter where they search on this website. Okay? So that's just something to set up there. And again, I think we learned that from ZapCon. Probably can't go too far into the website as well, even though they do go pretty far into the website on the franchise side when they display Zap. I think that's what agents are going to be excited about. Today is not for that. The day you roll out is just the day to make sure everybody is set up. And other franchises are not worrying about transferring terabytes of data from one database to another. This is their first intro into the thing. So that's why we're not going to go into the website too deeply. But rest assured, I will be doing courses, you will be doing courses on the website and how to maximize all the really, really cool new features that they will have on their website. All right, y'all. I hope that you've gotten a little something out of this. I wish I could have done more, but this is hopefully going to be helpful to you. You can watch this before you go live. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and give me a call or text me if you need me. I will actually be in one of these rollouts on Wednesday the 18th. So I won't be available on that day, but if there are, if you need other help, you can obviously go through the help desk or whatever. You can text me and call me before then. So thanks so much. Best of luck to everybody. Bye-bye now.